Is Rinna taking over Instagram? Is Instagram paying her? What is going on? I'm here to break down the latest publicity stunt, feud, whatever you want to call it, right up next. But before we get into it, I need you guys to do me a favor. Please subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Please like, comment, share this video. It only helps me build my YouTube channel. It's still very young and I still am pouring a lot into it. So any bit of engagement or any support you guys can show me, I will greatly appreciate it. Now let's get into today's topic. Okay, so if you were busy over the weekend, because you probably were, it was Memorial Weekend and people usually go places, the weather was pretty nice. So you wouldn't have maybe caught on to the feud that Lisa Rinna got herself into over the weekend, but I'm here. I'm going to bring you up to speed and I'm going to offer a little bit of insight because it took a bit of team effort, if you will. A couple content creators had their own theory behind what was going on, but ultimately Heather McDonald, shout out to Juicy Scoop, got some intel that kind of pulled those remaining pieces together. So hopefully by the end of this video, I will have brought you up to speed and you will have understood exactly what this feud is actually about. Okay, let's start at the beginning. So initially, it started with a screenshot posted to Lisa Rinna's stories. It was just a text message thread. But the problem there was that at the top, it showed the person's phone number. So this person was not saved in Lisa Rinna's phone, obviously, so the number was fully exposed. And so a lot of people said that she ended up doxing whoever this person was because she just gave their phone number out to 1 million plus followers on Instagram. And the person's number that was on the screenshot, people kind of ran with this theory that it was Kathy Hilton's assistant. And so as I was looking into it, I immediately knew that it wasn't Kathy Hilton's assistant just because of the formality of it all. I don't believe for 1 second that Kathy Hilton would have her assistant do something like that could potentially come back and bite her in the butt. So I automatically took Kathy Hilton's assistant as being an option off the list because it just didn't make sense. So the person in question, though, is a gentleman named Patrick Summers. And he then went to his Instagram calling Lisa Rinna out for basically doxing him and putting his number out on blast. And now he's waking up to people calling and texting. Now, mind you, a lot of them are Lisa Rinna fans. So the messages weren't all that nice because, they just weren't. So he called her out. And then he doubled down and made an Instagram post putting Lisa Rinna's phone number in the caption that led to Lisa Rinna then sharing on her stories that, because this guy shared her number, she was able to talk to so many of us, blah, 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 and try to change the narrative, where Patrick doubled down and said, no, don't change the narrative. You posted my number first. Then deleted the story, then doubled down and reposted it with my phone number exposed again. And why is this happening, guys? Well, I'm going to explain why, because obviously this is confusing. No one knows who Patrick Summers is at this point. They don't know the correlation. Does he have something to do with the show? Is he working? Did he used to work with? Why is this happening? Well, thankfully, Patrick clarified a little bit when he said this is all because there's a show that's currently filming that's going to be called, or tentatively called, The Real Husbands of Sunset or Real Husbands of Hollywood, something around that. And it's supposed to rival the Real Housewives franchise. So I guess they're starting obviously in California. And I think, I'm not certain on this, but it could be the same production company. I could see that happening if they're in the same vicinity and they're shooting OC and they're shooting Beverly Hills. I know sometimes Evolution jumps around. So I wouldn't be surprised if Evolution is shooting this and maybe thought, you know what, it might be a good idea to have, some of these castmates meet with seasoned housewives to kind of get some tips and pointers. And so that's what happened. They met to have dinner. Now, Heather McDonald says that it was Lisa Rinna and another housewife. She wouldn't mention who the other housewife was, probably because it's not really that important in the scheme of things. And so that, Rinna, another housewife, Patrick, and I'm assuming another cast member from that show was at a dinner just kind of talking. And it wasn't all about the show, but it was kind of, the point of it was to try to get some pointers on how to have a great season 1. What tips they could offer Patrick and the other cast members, like how to be on reality TV, how to maneuver, what's the strategy, what's that all about? Well, I guess in the midst of all that, per Heather McDonald's tea, she's saying that there was a conversation where Lisa Rinna said something or said some things that did not land well with Patrick. And so it rubbed him completely the wrong way. And that they, I guess, had a back and forth exchange on text. And then that's where we get to the point where Lisa Rinna shares the text message where he now is stating in the text message, basically stop spreading rumors about me. I could expose you. And then she kind of played along and said, I can't wait to see what you come up with, kind of thing. And so he made some allegations that basically referenced that, Harry Hamlin was, busy in Canada. And listen, this rumor has been going around for eons. I don't think Lisa Rinna's shocked by the rumor. I think she is very well aware of what people are saying. She's very involved. She's reading the comments. She's following the fan accounts, or watching what they're posting rather. And so she's in on it. But the other thing about Lisa Rinna that we need to remember is that she's a hustler, and she's been in the entertainment business for a very long time. So Housewives is not her first time at the rodeo in that regard. She is iconic in her own right. I mean, she's been on a lot of hit shows back in the 90s, Melrose Place. I mean, she was obviously on the soaps. So she knows that publicity is a good thing, whether it's good or bad. So I think ultimately what it comes down to is, I'm not saying that this situation did not occur, but what I do think is that I don't know why I have this theory that there's just a weird cross promote going on, because it's working if that is what's happening, because we're talking about a new show that is just started to film. And what better way to drum up like drama around this show and get people talking about it than to link up with the biggest mouth housewife and create some drama online? Because at the end of the day, I could totally see that being the thing, like people just sitting in a room and saying, oh, how can we get people talking about this and see what the excitement level on this is? Maybe we get one of the new cast members to meet up with like a housewife, and maybe that housewife is Rinna, and maybe you guys get into something, but you don't go into detail about what the drama actually is. Just start posting this and do that and see where it lands. And I ultimately feel like that makes the most sense here. And I'm not super mad at it, guys, because honestly, like publicity works that way. Sometimes you have to kind of create dust so that people will look and see, oh, wait, what's going on? So, and like I said, obviously it's working. I'm talking about it. I've posted 2 TikToks about it. So yeah, it's definitely working if that is what their plan was all along. Now, that's just my theory. I could be wrong, but I will keep you guys updated if I see any other info, although I doubt we'll get any more out of this story, only because I feel like it served its purpose, but you never know. Well, until then, next time, guys, I will talk to you on the next video.